All right, in this video, we're going to learn about 16th notes. So, go ahead and set up a staff with 3 measures. Make sure you draw your clef. Make sure you draw a time signature that's 4/4. And divide that staff into 3 equal measures with a double bar line at the end. Go up to the top of your paper, next to the 8th notes. 16th notes look like a grouping of 4 8th notes. Draw a grouping of 4 8th notes and add a second beam across the top of it. Watch as Mr. Brooks draws it for you. Those are 16th notes. Now a single 16th note looks like a single 8th note, except that it has 2 flags or 2 tails instead of 1. Each 16th note is worth a quarter of a beat. We enumerate 16th notes by writing 1, E, and A. How many 16th notes do you think add up to 4 beats?
I think that's probably 16 16th notes, Mr. DeRozier.
What a great answer, Mr. Brooks. Go back down to the staff that you just wrote and fill the first measure with 16th notes.
Oh boy.
This one is a little cramped.
I should have spaced these a little closer so those could have a little more room. Maybe you can do a little better job than me. Notice those beams are in a place where you can still see the beam despite the fact that there are lines kind of in the way.
If you're not careful with how you draw your 16th notes, they can look like 8th notes. Let's enumerate that first measure together. Find beat number 1. Now find beat number 2.
Is that 2?
Nope, Mr. Brooks.
Is that 2?
That's not it either.
Is that 2?
Nope.
Is that 2?
That's beat number 2.
Ah.
Now find beat number 3.
Is that beat? Oh, sorry.
Now find beat number 4. Very good. Now, go back and look at the top of your page. Remember, we enumerate 16th notes 1, E, and A. The first number could be a 2, and then it would be 2, E, and A. Watch Mr. Brooks enumerate the first beat. Now let's enumerate the second beat together. E, and A. Continue for beats 3 and 4 on your own. Very good. Go back to the top of your page. The next 2 rhythms that we have to talk about are an 8th note followed by 2 16th notes. It should look like this. And 2 16th notes followed by an 8th note. The first rhythm that we drew would be 1, the next note would be and the last note would be a.
You can tell the first one is an 8th note because there's only 1 beam on it. You can tell these 2 are 16th notes because there's 2 beams going across.
The next rhythm would be 1, E, and. Pay close attention to which notes are 16th notes and which notes are 8th notes. Go back down to the staff. In the second measure, try filling that up with 2 16th notes and an 8th note. In the third measure, try filling that up with an 8th note and 2 16th notes.
I don't think I've finished either of these measures.
I don't think so either. Mr. Brooks, how many beats do you have in that first measure there?
I got beat 1, E, and 2, E, and. Looks like I still need beat 3 and 4.
And in the second measure, how many beats do we need to add?
Well, I've got 1 and so I need to get 2, 3, and 4 here.
Once you have completed these 3 measures, you can move on to the next video.